What's going on, everyone? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another exciting episode of Fantasy Haus Live Hoopz Edition. This time we've got only a couple weeks to cover up. To cover this week, we have the week 4 and 5. We will also give you the updated power rankings, and we will give you a preview, or I guess a score update into the current week, which will be week 6. But yeah, it's been an exciting week. We have a lot to cover in this week's episode. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Much love as always, and let's get into the action. As always, we're going to start with our overview of the whole week. It was actually a pretty exciting week, so let's get right on into it. Starting at the top, Freaks and Greeks was able to get the big win over Alvinduhmunk with a score of 7 wins, 1 loss, and no ties over the course of the week. In the next matchup, we saw BTbruh get the win over DeepAfMyDawg, with BTbruh getting 5 wins, 3 losses, and 0 ties over the course of the week to win. In our third matchup, it saw Jman getting the big win over Los Mambacita with 6 wins, 2 losses, and 0 ties over the course of the week. While lastly, we saw Toon Squad get the win over NateTheViking with 5 wins, 3 losses, and no ties over the course of the week. We're going to switch on over into the more, breakdown into each of these individual matchups. Starting off first with, as I mentioned before, our first matchup, which was Freaks and Greeks versus Alvinduhmunk. So we saw Jaden Ivey shoot 45% from the field with 8 3-pointers made, 73% from the free throw line, 28 rebounds, 19 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks, and 70 points. On the opposite side for the guard, we saw Jrue Holiday for the Bucks shooting 50% from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 16 points. In our next set of guards, we saw Donovan Mitchell, the guard for Cleveland, shoot about 57% from the field, adding in 17 3-pointers. 88% of his free throws were made, with 16 rebounds, 15 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, and 97 points. While on the opposite of him, we saw Reggie Jackson for Alvinduhmunk, the guard for the Clippers, shoot about 50% from the field, adding in 4 3-pointers, 100% of his free throws being made, with 8 rebounds, 16 assists, 2 steals, and 38 points. Moving right along into our next matchup of guards, Jamal Murray shot 42% from the field, adding in 3 3-pointers, with 80% from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, and 37 points over the course of the week. Kyle Lowry for Alvinduhmunk here was able to put up 50% of his shots, making 7 3-pointers, 100% of his free throws, adding in 21 rebounds, 19 assists, 2 blocks, and 37 points. Kevin Porter, the guard for Houston, was able to make about 48% of his shots, making 7 3-pointers, 55% of his free throws, while adding in 11 rebounds, 25 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 52 points. I guess we'll continue with a few of the guards for me for a bit before we get into the forwards. Alvinduhmunk will probably have more on the bench, so we'll check out that later. But Andrew Wiggin, able to make 58% of his shots from the field, adding in 8 3-pointers, with 77% from the free throw line, adding in 20 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 steals, 2 blocks, and 71 points. Kelly Oubre Jr., the next guard for Charlotte, able to make 52% of his shots from the field, adding in 9 3-pointers, 66% of his free throws, while able to get 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 49 points. Then finally, we saw, for at least of this section of guards, we saw Marcus Smart for Boston, able to make about 42% of his shots from the field, adding in 4 3-pointers, 2 rebounds, 14 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 22 points. Okay, moving into the forwards, Giannis Antetokounmpo shot about 45% from the field goal from the field, adding in 87% of his free throws with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 25 points to boot. Alvinduhmunk's first forward here, Josh Hart for Portland, shot 33% from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, 55% from the free throw line, with 36 rebounds, 15 assists, 5 steals, and 36 points. Moving into the next set of forwards, for Freaks and Greeks, we had Anthony Davis shoot about 56% from the field with 1 3-pointer made, 82% from the free throw line with 45 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, 5 blocks, and 111 points. Buddy Hield, the forward for the Pacers, able to get about 44% of his shots to fall while making 12 3-pointers, 83% of his free throws, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 59 points. Moving right along into our next set of forwards, we have DeMar DeRozan for Chicago, shooting 51% from the field, adding in 77% from the free throw line with 11 rebounds, 14 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 58 points over the course of the week. While Kyle Kuzma for Washington with 47% from the field, adding in 8 3-pointers, 62% from the free throw line, 36 rebounds, 18 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 88 points. Benedict Mathurin, the forward for Indianapolis, shooting about 45% from the field, making 10 3-pointers, shooting 73% from the free throw line, also adding in 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 53 points. While Karl Anthony Towns, aka the Cat for Minnesota, able to put in 61% of his shots from the field while making 6 3-pointers, 90% from the free throw line, adding in 44 rebounds, 18 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and 78 points. Moving into the centers, we had Jakob Poeltl shooting 73% from the field, adding in 30% from the free throw line, 26 rebounds, 16 assists, 4 steals, 7 blocks, and 41 points. On the opposite side, for Alvinduhmunk, we had Al Horford for Boston shooting 76% from the field, adding in 10 3-pointers, 33% from the free throw line, 19 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 49 points. Then in the flex spot, we saw for Alvinduhmunk here, we saw Russell Westbrook, aka Brody, drop in 39% of his shots from the field, adding in 7 3-pointers, 88% from the free throw line, 17 rebounds, 37 assists, so pretty modest there, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 71 points. Bringing it back to Freaks and Greeks, we saw this the center, the big man, Brook Lopez, dropped 45% of his shots from the field, making 7 3-pointers, adding 71% of his free throws, while also getting 18 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 9 blocks, and 54 points over the course of the week. Moving into some of these backups, let's see, we had LaMelo, who only played for a tiny bit here, able to get shoot 35% from the field with 1 3-pointer made, making 100% of his free throws with 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 15 points. De'Aaron Fox from Sacramento was able to shoot 53% from the field, making 7 3-pointers, 76% of his free throws, 15 rebounds, 34 assists, 8 steals, 1 block, and 97 points. DeJounte Murray, the guard for Atlanta, was able to, this is also for Alvinduhmunk, able to get 45% of his shots to fall from the field while making 5 3-pointers, 87% of his 3 pros, 25 rebounds, 31 assists, 7 steals, 1 block, and 84 points. Moving into some more reserves, we have the center for Miami in Bam Adebayo, able to make 53% of his shots from the field, adding in 80% from the free throw line with 34 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and 58 points. In our next set of reserves, we have Jamal Murray. Oh, I actually covered Jamal Murray, so skip that. We'll go to Evan Mobley, who was able to get 59% of his shots to fall from the field with 62% from the free throw line, adding in another 40 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 66 points. Going back to Freaks and Greeks, Kelly Oubre Jr. was able to shoot 33% from the field, also adding in 2 3-pointers, 80% from the free throw line, 9 assists, 3 steals, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 36 points. So now we shall switch into matchup number 2, which saw BTbruh picking up the big win this week over DeepAfMyDawg in a score of 5 wins, 3 losses, and no ties. And as always, we're going to take a look at how that broke down. Scotty Barnes was able to shoot 31% from the field, making 2 3-pointers, 62% of the free throws, 26 rebounds, 19 assists, 3 steals, 5 blocks, and 41 points. On the opposite side for BTbruh, we saw Devin Booker shooting 44% from the field, making 8 3-pointers, making 85% of his shots from the free throw line with 19 rebounds, 21 assists, 4 steals, and 77 points. Moving into the next set of guards, it's Luka Doncic shooting 43%, making 43% of his shots from the field, making with 11 3-pointers, 67% from the free throw line, with 34 rebounds, 28 assists, 9 steals, 4 blocks, but a huge 124 points over the course of the week. Moving into the next set of guards, which saw SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for OKC, making 56% of his shots from the field with 5 3-pointers made, another 88% from the free throw line, 19 rebounds, 21 assists, 7 steals, 9 blocks, but an astonishing 129 points. Then for BTbruh, which saw CJ McCollum drop 27% of his shots from the field, making 4 3-pointers, 57% of his free throws with 23 rebounds, 26 assists, 6 steals, 4 blocks, and 38 points. Continuing into the guards, which saw Ja Morant drop 47 points, or 47% of his shots, and make 9 3-pointers with 57% of his free throws, 23 rebounds, 22 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 90 points. Then moving into the next set of guards, we saw D'Lo for Minnesota dropping 48% of his shots from the field with 12 3-pointers, 71% of his free throws made with 6 rebounds, 33 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 68 points. Then moving into the next guard, which was Colin Sexton for Utah, able to get 54% of his shots from the field to fall with 1 3-pointer made, 55% of his free throws with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 32 points. Moving into our first matchup of forwards, we saw Desmond Bane for Memphis get 48% of his shots from the field to fall with 9 3-pointers made, 100% of his free throws being made, 14 rebounds, 16 assists, 1 steal, and 75 points on the week. Across the way for BTbruh, we saw OG Anunoby able to get about 46% of his shots from the field to fall with 6 3-pointers, making 78% of his free throws, adding 22 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 steals, 4 blocks, and 79 points. Moving into this next high-powered forward matchup here, we have Jaylen Brown, the superstar from Boston, able to make 55% of his shots from the field, adding in 6 3-pointers, 83% from the free throw line with 24 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, and 76 points on the week. While his rival here on the BTbruh side, Jimmy Butler from Miami, able to make 53% of his shots from the field, dishing out 1 3-pointer with 92% from the free throw line, 21 rebounds, 23 assists with 9 steals, and 71 points. Moving into the next matchup of forwards, we have Jeremy Grant for Portland, able to make 56% of his shots with 14 3-pointers made, 81% of his free throws with 20 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, 4 blocks, and 87 points. Keldon Johnson for BTbruh and also playing for San Antonio, making 48% of his shots from the field with 12 3-pointers, 72% of the free throws he was able to make with 15 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 75 points. Moving into the next set of forwards, we have Julius Randle shooting 49% from the field, with adding in 15 3-pointers with 80% from the free throw line, 37 steals, 14 assists, and 101 points from the big forward out of the Knicks. For the next person for BTbruh here is Jalen Smith for Indy, able to make about 40% of his shots from the field with 5 3-pointers, 50% of his free throws, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 22 points. Moving into the battle of the centers, we have Nikola Vucic making 51% of his shots with 4 3-pointers made, 80% of his free throws, with 26 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and 42 points. On the opposite side, you have, for BTbruh, you have Nikola Jokic, the center for Denver, aka the Joker, able to get 57% of his shots to fall from the field while dishing out 3 3-pointers, 83% from the free throw line, 26 rebounds, 33 assists, 7 steals, 4 blocks, and 87 points. Moving into this, the second matchup of the centers here, we have Ivica Zubac making 75% of his shots from the field, adding in 66% from the free throw line with 15 rebounds and 16 points. In the flex spot, we saw Tobias Harris for DeepAfMyDawg making about 39% of his shots from the field, adding in 4 3-pointers, 92% from the free throw line, 22 rebounds, 13 assists, 8 steals, and 62 points. For BTbruh, on the opposite side, we have Jalen Brunson making 49% of his shots with 5 3-pointers made, 1,000, making all of his free throws so far, or at least over the course of the week, making 11 rebounds, 24 assists, 7 steals, and 80 points. Then moving into the bench players here, we have Dylan Brooks for Memphis for DeepAfMyDawg, able to make 39% of his shots from the field while making 7 3-pointers, 83% from the free throw line, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and 66 points. Moving into the next player for DeepAfMyDawg here, which is the guard for Denver, Kentavious Caldwell, shooting 52% from the field while making 9 3-pointers, 85% of his free throws, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 steals, and 51 points. Then finally, covering Bobby Portis, the forward from Milwaukee, making about 40% of his shots, making 4 3-pointers, 88% of his free throws with 31 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 40 points. Now moving into our next matchup, which saw Jman picking up a much important win over Los Mambacita in a score of 6 wins to 2 losses and no ties over the course of the week. And as always, we start at the top and shall break it down. Starting at the top, we have Darius Garland, the guard for Cleveland, shooting 39% from the field, adding in 14 3-pointers, 70% from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 34 assists, 5 steals, and 91 points on the week. Across the way, you had Chef Curry shooting 64% from the field, adding in 16 3-pointers, 84% from the free throw line, 18 rebounds, 17 assists, 2 steals, and 114 points. Moving into our next set of guards, starting with Jman's Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers, shooting about 44% from the field with 11 3-pointers made, shooting, I guess, what appears to look like a 0% from the free throw line. Either that or he hasn't gone to the free throw line yet. Making 11 rebounds, 40 assists, 7 steals, 1 block, and 49 points. Paul George, across the way, able to make 43% of his shots from the field, adding in 8 3-pointers, 73% of his shots from the free throw line, 15 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, and 72 points. Sliding on into the next set of guards, we have Damian Lillard, the perennial all-star for Portland, making about 40% of his shots from the field, adding in 11 three-pointers, 79% from the free throw line, adding in 16 rebounds, 25 assists, 1 steal, and 74 points. Then next for Los Mambacita on the other side here, we have Zach LaVine, the guard from Chicago, dropping 49% of his shots from the field, able to dish in 8 three-pointers with 83% of his free throws being made, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 steals, and 74 points. Then moving into the final set of guards here, we have Terry Rozier for Charlotte, shooting 36% while making 13 three-pointers, 75% of his shots from the free throw line, adding in 17 rebounds, 19 assists, 2 steals, and 81 points, while Klay Thompson, the other part of the Splash Brothers, making 31% of his shots with 10 three-pointers made, 50% from the free throw line, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and 42 points. Moving on into our first set of forwards, which saw Mikal Bridges, the forward for Phoenix, making 46% of his shots from the field with 5 three-pointers being made, 100% of his free throws being made, 18 rebounds, 12 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and 54 points. Across the way, we had Shattuck Bay for Detroit, shooting 36% from the field with 4 three-pointers, 95% from the field, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 64 points on the week. Moving to the next set of forwards for Jman, Draymond Green, shooting 42% from the field with 60% from the free throw line, adding in 24 rebounds, 30 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 19 points. Then we move into the next set, which was Brandon Ingram, the forward for New Orleans, making about 49% of his shots from the field, adding in 6 three-pointers, 91 free throws, 91% of his free throws, with 25 rebounds, 12 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and 85 points. Then on the opposite side, you have Kristaps Porzingis, the forward for Washington, the Unicorn, shooting 51% from the field, making 11 three-pointers, 73% from the free throw line. Also at Abin, 24 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 5 blocks, and 75 points. In the next matchup of forwards, we saw Zion Williamson for New Orleans, able to get 67% of his shots to fall from the field, adding in 3 three-pointers, 75% from the free throw line with 22 rebounds, 17 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, and 100 points. Christian Wood, the forward for Dallas, able to make 50% of his shots with 1 three-pointer made, adding in another 80% from the free throw line with 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 25 points. Sliding on into our centers, we have Joel Embiid, shooting about 54% from the field with 3 three-pointers made, adding in 86% from the free throw line with 44 rebounds, 21 assists, 3 steals, 11 blocks, and 160 points over the course of the week, which is just mind-boggling. Then you have Jonas Valanciunas, the center for New Orleans, shooting about 41% from the field, making 2 three-pointers, 83% from the free throw line with 35 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 50 points. Moving into the flex position, starting off with Jman, we have Jordan Poole for Golden State, making about 41% of his shots from the field with 7 threes, 83% from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 38 points. Then we have Jordan Clarkson for Utah, dropping about 42% of his shots from the field, making 11 three-pointers, 100% of his shots from the free throw line thus far, with 13 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 75 points. Then going over the bench players real quick, we saw Jalen Green for Houston for J-Man, dropping about 59% of his, getting 59% of his shots to fall from the field with 12 three-pointers, 82% from the free throw line with 11 rebounds, 15 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 88 points. RJ Barrett for Los Mambacita was shooting 40% from the field with 8 3-pointers made, 72% of the free throws being made, 17 rebounds, 13 assists, 4 steals, and 72 points. Devin Vassell for the guard for San Antonio for Jman, able to make 43% of his shots, making 9 3-pointers, 80% of the free throws, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 61 points. Then we have the forward for Sacramento and Dominas Sobinis, able to make 54% of his shots with 2 3-pointers being made, 86% of his free throws, 51% of his rebounds, 51 rebounds, 26 assists, 4 steals, and 87 points. Moving into the next set of reserves, we saw PJ Washington, the forward for Charlotte, drop 43% of his shots from the field, 4 3-pointers, 57% from the free throw line, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 48 points. Then Jabari Smith, the rookie for Houston for Los Mambacita, was able to make about 36% of his shots, 3 3-pointers being made with 75% from the free throw line, 26 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 27 points. And then lastly for Jman, Miles Turner, the center for the Pacers, able to make 56% of his shots with 6 3-pointers being made, 91% from the free throw line, 33 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 8 blocks, and 70 points on the week. Which brings us lastly to our last matchup of the week, which was the Toon Squad taking down NateTheViking in a score of 5 wins to 3 losses and no ties. And starting off, as always, at the very top, which saw Cade Cunningham for NateTheViking, the guard for Detroit, making about 28% of his shots from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, 83% of the 3 throws with 14 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 blocks, and 21 points. Then for Toon Squad, you had Patrick Bev, who I believe is currently suspended, which is what that yellow flag means, making 23% of his shots from the field with 3 3-pointers being made, 33% of his shots being made from the free throw line with 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, and 14 points. Moving into the next set of guards, we have Anthony Edwards from Minnesota, making 43% of his shots from the field with 4 3-pointers being made, 68% from the free throw line, 25 rebounds, 14 assists, 3 steals, and 65 points. Then for Toon Squad, you have LeBron James, the guard for the Lakers, able to make 54% of his shots, adding in another 4 3-pointers with 50% of his free throws, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 30 points over the course of the week. In our third set of guards, we have Chris Paul, able to make what looks like 100% of his shots so far, which can only mean he hasn't played too much, with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 points. Then you have Anthony Simmons on the opposite side for Toon Squad, the guard for Portland, shooting about 39% from the field, with 16 3-pointers going in, 78% from the free throws line, 13 rebounds, 18 assists, 3 steals, and 91 points. Sliding into the next set of guards, we have Trae Young, who's able to shoot 37% from the field, making 6 3-pointers, 86% of his free throws, 8 rebounds, 27 assists, 4 steals, and 75 points. On the opposite side for Toon Squad, you have Fred VanVleet, who's able to shoot 47% from the field, making 16 3-pointers, 57% of his free throws, adding in 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 8 steals, 3 blocks, and 74 points. Then moving into the next set of guards, we have Gary Trent for Toronto, shooting 21% from the field, adding in 72% from the free throw line with 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block, and 18 points. Then we have Tim Hardaway for Los Mambacita playing on Dallas, making about 41%, while making 5 3-pointers, 50% of the 3 throws, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 16 points. Moving into the next set of guards, we have, well, technically just guard, it's Tre Jones for San Antonio, who shot 57% from the field with 1 3-pointer being made, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 9 points. Then we got Tyrese Maxey, who shot 39%. This is also for NateTheViking, who shot 39% from the field, making 7 3-pointers, 75% from the free throw line, with 9 rebounds, 17 assists, 5 steals, and 1 block. Then we move into the forwards. We have John Collins for Atlanta, shooting 45% from the field with 2 3-pointers being made, making all of his free throws over the course of the week so far. Well, I shouldn't say so far. Over the course of the week, with 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Moving into Toon Squad's Paolo Banchero, the rookie sensation for Orlando, making about 50% of his shots from the field with 2 3-pointers, 85% of his free throws, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 30 points. Moving into the next set of forwards, we have Lauri Markkanen, able to make 55% of his shots with 10 3-pointers being made, 73% of his 3-pointers or free throws, adding in 26 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks, and 87 points. Then for Toon Squad on the opposite side, you have Wendell Carter, able to shoot about 50% from the field with 4 3-pointers being made, shooting 100% from the free throw line with 29 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 blocks, and 48 points to add over the course of the week. Then moving into this superstar powered block right here for the forwards, we have Jason Tatum for Boston, able to make about 50% of his shots from the field with 17 3-pointers, 81% from the free throw line with 22 rebounds, 15 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, and 147 points. Then KD on the opposite side here for Brooklyn, able to drop about 53% of his shots from the field with 7 3-pointers being made, 83% from the free throw line, with 31 rebounds, 26 assists, 5 steals, 7 blocks, and 113 points on the week. Then moving into the next set of forwards, we have Franz Wagner shooting about 56% from the field with 3 3-pointers being made, 90% from the free throw line, 14 rebounds, 16 assists, and 62 points. Sliding over, we have Michael Porter for the Toon Squad, making about 53% of his shots, adding in 14 3-pointers, 100% of his free throws with 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 79 points. Moving right on along. So Michael Porter, the forward for Denver, shooting about 53% from the field with 14 3-pointers being made, adding in 100% of his free throws with 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, and 79 points. Sliding straight on into the centers, we have DeAndre Ayton shooting 51% from the field with 75% of his free throws being made, adding in 18 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 37 points. For Toon Squad, you saw Rudy Gobert for Minnesota shooting 69% from the field with 79% of his shots from the free throw, making 79% of his shots from the free throw line. Also getting 30 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 5 blocks, and 55 points. In the second spot here for centers, we have, at least for Nate here, we have Yusuf Nurkic for Portland. Oh wait, that shows nothing. In the flex spot, we have Alpin Sengun making about 50% of his shots, 88% from the free throw line with 21 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 4 blocks, and 43 points for NateTheViking this week. Then on the opposite side, we see for Jared Allen for Toon Squad making 58% of his shots, 75% from the free throw line, adding in 36 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 43 points. Then taking a quick little look here at the benches, Tre Jones for San Antonio shot 50%, making 2 3-pointers, adding 100% from the free throw line with 7 rebounds, 20 assists, 4 steals, and 31 points. On the opposite side, for Toon Squad, you had Tim Hardaway, the guard for Dallas, make about 38% of his field goals, or his shots from the field, with 6 3-pointers, 66% of the free throws being made, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 32 points. Then Tyrese Maxey for NateTheViking, shooting 22% from the field, making 50% of his free throws with 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 11 points. Also for NateTheViking, we have Gary Trent here, making about 55% of his shots from the field, adding in 3 3-pointers, 100% from the free throw line with 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, and 30 points. Then lastly, Jusuf Nurkic, shooting 50% from the field with 100% of his free throws being made, adding in 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 4 points. Now that we've finished up all the scores and the breakdowns from week 4, we're going to go straight into week 5 here with the week 5 overview. This is how the scores from that week broke down. So, starting off in our first game here, we have Freaks and Greeks picking up another win with 6 wins, 2 losses, and no ties on the week versus Jman, who inversely was able to get 2 wins, 6 losses, and no ties. Then we saw Alvinduhmunk redeem himself and pick up a win this week against DeepAfMyDawg with 5 wins, 3 losses, and no ties, which obviously then means that DeepAfMyDawg received 3 wins, 5 losses, and no ties. In our third matchup of the week, BTbruh picked up a win this week against NateTheViking, scoring 6 wins, 1 loss, and actually 1 tie, which inversely means for Nate means that he got 1 win, 6 losses, and 1 tie. And then lastly, Los Mambacita bouncing back, scoring 6 wins to 2 losses and no ties, while Toon Squad taking 2 wins to 6 losses and also no ties. We shall take a look at how these scores broke down, starting of course with our first matchup of the week, which was the Freaks and Greeks taking on Jman. Starting at the top, as always, with our guards, which saw LaMelo Ball shooting 44% from the field, adding in 9 3-pointers, 66% from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 15 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 43 points. While on the opposite side for Jman, Darius Garland, the guard for Cleveland, shot 53% from the field, adding in 12 3-pointers, 83% from the free throw line with 7 rebounds, 21 assists, 6 steals, 2 blocks, and 89 points. Next, in our next matchup of guards, which saw Bradley Beal shoot 51% from the field with 8 3-pointers being made, adding in 83% from the free throw line with 6 rebounds, 13 assists, 6 steals, and 53 points. Across the way for Jman, Tyrese Halliburton guard for Indy, shot 53% from the field with 8 3-pointers being made, 83% from the free throw line with 12 rebounds, 33 assists, 6 steals, 3 blocks, and 63 points on the week. Moving into the next set of guards, we have Jaden Ivey, the guard for Detroit, able to make about 39% of his shots from the field, adding in 7 3-pointers with 73% from the free throw line, 16 rebounds, 21 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 80 points. Then across the way for Jman, Damian Lillard, the guard from Portland, able to shoot 31% from the field, making 6 3-pointers, 90% of his free throws with 7 rebounds, 29 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 60 points on the week. Moving into the next set of guards, we saw Donovan Mitchell, the guard for Cleveland, shooting 43% from the field with 7 3-pointers being made, 89% of his free throws, adding in 9 rebounds, 14 assists, 5 steals, and 70 points. Next up is Terry Rozier, shooting 35% from the field while adding in 7 3-pointers, 87% from the free throw line with 17 rebounds, 20 assists, 4 steals, and 70 points. Moving to the next guard, we have Kevin Porter shooting 37% from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, 57% of his free throws with 18 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and 37 points. Moving straight along into the next guard here, which was Marcus Smart, shooting about 66% from the field with 1 3-pointer being made, 83% from the free throw line with 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 block, and 22 points. Then in the, DeMar DeRozan for Chicago, shot 60% from the field, adding in 1 3-pointer with 87% from the field, adding in 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 69 points. Moving into our first matchup of forwards, we have Kelly Oubre Jr. shooting about 39% from the field with making 2 3-pointers, making 80% of his shots from the free throw line with 25 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 steals, 1 block, and 56 points. Mikal Bridges on the opposite side here for Jman for Phoenix was able to pick up and shoot 52% from the field with 7 3-pointers being made, 87% from the free throw line, 26 rebounds, 18 assists, 6 steals, 5 blocks, and 64 points. Moving straight on along, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo dropping 39% of his shots from the field while making 1 3-pointer, 43% of his free throws with 34 rebounds, 16 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Also add in 68 points. Then you have Draymond Green for Golden State, able to make 52% of his shots with 2 3-pointers being made, 87% of his free throws with 24 rebounds, 29 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and 27 points. Then in the next matchup of forwards, we have Anthony Davis shooting 64% from the field with 88% of his shots from the free throw line going in. Then 34 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, 5 blocks, and 68 points. Then moving into Brandon Ingram, who shot 40% from the field, making 9 3-pointers. 84% of his 3-pointers being made with 12 rebounds, 18 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 60 points. Then moving into the next set here, we have Benedict Mathurin, who shot 38% from the field while adding in 4 3-pointers, 81% from the free throw line with 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 47 points. Moving into this next forward here for Freaks and Greeks, which was Andrew Wiggins, shooting about 48% from the field, making 15 3-pointers, shooting 25% from the free throw line with 18 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 66 points. Then moving into the battle of the centers, we have Jacob Poeltl putting up 63% of his shots while making 77% of his free throws with 39 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 67 points. Then on the opposite side for Jman, Joel Embiid shooting 43% from the field, making 4 3-pointers with 85% from the free throw, 20 rebounds, 14 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and 64 points. And moving into our flex positions, we have Jamal Murray shooting about 35% from the field with 3 3-pointers being made, 100% of his shots being made from the free throw line with 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 21 points. Then across the way for Jman here, you have Jordan Poole shooting 42% from the field with 9 3-pointers being made, 90% from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 18 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks, and 61 points to add. Moving into the next flex spot for back to Freaks and Greeks here, we have Brook Lopez shooting 54% from the field goal range from the field, adding in 9 3-pointers, 86% from the free throw line with 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 7 blocks, and 56 points on the week. For some of these bench players here, we have Jalen Green for Jman here shooting about 35% from the field while making 5 3-pointers, 84% of his free throws 23 rebounds, 22 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 74 points. And Devin Vassell able to make 47% of his shots from the field while adding in 11 3-pointers, 66% from the free throw line, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, and 73 points. So a pretty awesome week there. Next up for Jman here was PJ Washington out of Charlotte, making 44% of his field goals, adding in 8 3-pointers, 88% of his free throws, also dishing out 14 assists, getting 25 rebounds, 5 steals, and 1 block. Moving into our next set of reserves here, we'll cover Miles Turner, which he shot 64% from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, shot 78% from the free throw line with 28 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 8 blocks, and 57 points on the week. Now we shall take a look at our next matchup. Moving into our next matchup of week 5 here, which saw Alvinduhmunk picking up the win over DeepAfMyDawg with 5 wins, 3 losses, and 0 ties over the course of the week. And we shall always take a look at how that broke down. Starting at the top per usual with our guards. James Harden didn't seem to put up any stats, so we have DeepAF Scotty Barnes for Toronto shooting 46% from the field, adding in 5 3-pointers, 100% of his free throws with 22 rebounds, 19 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks, and 55 points. Then in the next matchup of guards, we have Jrue Holiday, the awesome guard from Milwaukee, shooting 41% from the field, adding in 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 10 points. On the opposite side for DeepAfMyDawg, you have Luka Doncic shooting 48% from the field with 6 3-pointers being made, 81% from the free throw line, 32 rebounds, 24 assists, 5 steals, and 90 points on the week. Sliding on into the next matchup of guards, you have Reggie Jackson, the guard for the Clippers, shooting 61% from the field with 10 3-pointers being made, 85% of his free throws, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 66 points. While on the opposite side, you have Mr. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander himself for OKC, shooting 50% from the field, making 6 3-pointers, 81% of his free throws with 16 rebounds, 21 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 94 points. Moving into the next set of guards, we have Kyle Lowry from Miami and Alvinduhmunk shooting 37% from the field, making 11 3-pointers, but shooting 73% from the free throw line, getting 18 rebounds with 26 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks, and 67 points. All right, moving into our next set of guards, we have Kyle Lowry from Miami shooting 37% from the field, making 11 3-pointers with 73% of his free throws, with 18 rebounds, 26 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks with 67 points on the. Then we have, moving right along, we have Josh Hart for Portland shooting 60% from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, 100% of his free throws with 21 rebounds, 9 assists, 7 steals, 1 block, and 32 points. Sliding on into the next set of forwards, we have Buddy Hield for Alvinduhmunk and Indianapolis shooting 32% from the field with 11 3-pointers being made, 100% of his free throws, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and 44 points. Moving right along, we have Jaylen Brown for DeepAfMyDawg shooting 53% from the field, making 4 3-pointers, 69% of his free throws with 23 rebounds, 13 assists, 6 steals, and 75 points. Sliding into the next set of forwards, we have Kyle Kuzma dropping about 44% of his shots, making 9 3-pointers, 66% of his free throws with 28 points, 19 assists, 2 steals, and 67 points. Then next for DeepAfMyDawg, we had Jeremy Grant for Portland shooting 41% from the field, making 11 3-pointers, 62% of his free throws with 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks, and also adding in 48 points. Moving into the next set of forwards, so we have Karl Anthony Towns, the Cat from Minnesota, shooting 51% from the field, adding in 4 3-pointers, 1 field goal, or shooting 100% from the free throw line, adding in 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 42 points. Then let's see, we have the centers, Al Horford in Boston, shooting 57% from the field, adding in 6 3-pointers, 100% from the free throw line with 29 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks with 37 points on the week. Across the way for DeepAfMyDawg, we have Nikola Vujicic for Chicago, the center for Chicago, shooting 43% from the field with 2 3-pointers being made, 66% of his free throws being made, 26 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 28 points. Moving into the flex position, which saw Russell Westbrook for Alvinduhmunk shoot about 36% from the field with 2 3-pointers, 66% of his free throws being made, adding in 9 rebounds, 22 assists, 1 steal, and 20 points. Then moving into the benches, we had, starting with De'Aaron Fox for Alvinduhmunk, the guard from Sacramento, shot about 60% from the field, adding in 5 3-pointers being made, 88% from the free throw line with 11 rebounds, 24 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 75 points. Across the way for our DeepAfMyDawg, we had Dylan Brooks, the guard from Memphis, shooting 36% from the field, adding in 7 3-pointers, 63% from the free throw line, adding in 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 6 steals, and 66 points over the course of the week. Moving into the next set of reserves, we have DeJounte Murray, the guard for Atlanta, shooting about 44% from the field with 3 3-pointers being made, 88% from the free throw line, 18 rebounds, 14 assists, 3 steals, and 55 points, with Kentavious Caldwell, the guard for Denver, shooting about 42 points with making 6 3-pointers, 100% of the free throws, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 40 points. Moving into the next set of reserves, we have Bam Adebayo shooting 50% from the field, adding in 90% from the free throw line with 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 51 points. In the next set of reserves, we saw Evan Mobley, the center for Cleveland, for Alvinduhmunk, shooting about 62% from the field, adding in 60% from the free throw line, 35 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks, and 56 points. Then lastly, for DeepAfMyDawg, Bobby Portis, the forward for Milwaukee, shooting 52% from the field, making 3 3-pointers, also adding in 80% from the free throw line with 32 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 45 points. Which brings us to our third matchup, which is BTbruh picking up a big win over NateTheViking with 6 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. And as always, we're going to take a look into how that broke down. Starting with our guards. For BTbruh, we had CJ McCollum for New Orleans make 45% of his shots from the field, while adding 14 3-pointers, 83% from the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 20 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 71 points. Then we have Ja Morant moving into the next set of guards because there was no points, I guess, for Chris Paul. We had Ja Morant, the guard from Memphis, dropping 38% of his shots while making 2 3-pointers, 81% of his free throws with 15 assists, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, and 55 points. On the opposite side for Trae Young and NateTheViking, you had 46% of his shots being made from the field with 6 3-pointers being made, 85% of his free throws, 11 rebounds, 30 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, and 81 points. And then back to BTbruh, you saw D'Angelo Russell, the guard from Minnesota, dropping 48% of his shots going in with 4 3-pointers being made, 100% of his free throws being made, 5 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 30 points. Then moving right along for BTbruh, you had Colin Sexton dropping about 40% of his field goals with 1 3-pointer being made, 88% from the free throw line with 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 25 points. There was nothing here, I guess, for NateTheViking. We'll see if those were more in the bench players. So sliding on into the forwards, we have for BTbruh, OG Anunoby, shooting 47% from the field with 2 3-pointers being made, 90% from the free throw line with 20 assists, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks with 78 points on the week. Versus NateTheViking's John Collins, the forward from Atlanta, who shot 45% from the field, making 2 3-pointers, 87% of the free throws with 23 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, and 37 points. Moving right along into the next set of forwards, we had Jimmy Butler for BTbruh, the forward for Miami, going off for about 45 or making about 45% of his shots from the field, making 1 3-pointer, 100% of his free throws, making 14 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 29 points. Then across the way, you have Lauri Markkanen, the forward for Utah, making 64% of his free throws, with 7 3-pointers being made, 72% of his free throws, 22 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 74 points. Next up, we had for BTbruh, we have Keldon Johnson, the forward from San Antonio, picking up shooting 31% of his shots from the field, making 9 3-pointers, 75% of his free throws with 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, and 58 points. Across the way for NateTheViking, you have the superstar from Boston, Jason Tatum, going off for 35% of his shots from the field, 6 3-pointers, 85% of the free throws with 24 rebounds, 19 assists, 4 steals, 4 blocks, and 65 points on the week. Moving into the next set of forwards, we have Julius Randle, the forward from the Knicks, shooting 46% from the field, adding in 9 3-pointers with 75% shooting from the free throw line, adding 29 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 78 points on the week. For NateTheViking, he had Franz Wagner from Orlando, shooting 50% from the field, making 9 of those 3-pointers, 91% from the free throw line, with 20 rebounds, 18 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 90 points. Sliding into the next matchup and moving over to BT side here, we have Jalen Smith from Indy, shooting 40%, making 45% of his free throws, 75%, shooting getting 30 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks, and 35 points. Then we have, let's see here, DeAndre Ayton for the first set of centers here, making 62% of his shots with shooting 50% from the free throw line, 40 rebounds, 16 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 60 points on the week. In the flex spot for BTbruh, we had Jalen Brunson for New York, dropping 44% of his shots with 6 3-pointers being made, 95% of the free throws being made, with 16 assists, 16 rebounds, 22 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 86 points on the week. Then for NateTheViking, Alperen Sengun shot about 43% from the field with 1 3-pointer being made, 80% from the free throw line, 27 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 5 blocks, and 45 points. Moving back to BTbruh here for the Ivica Zubac, shot about 37%, also getting about 70% of his free throws, shooting with 43 rebounds being made, 7 assists, 4 blocks, 24 points. Then moving into a short list of reserves, mostly for NateTheViking here, we have Trey Jones, the guard from San Antonio, shooting 36% from the field, making 1 3-pointer, but getting 7 rebounds, 28 assists, 6 steals, and 33 points. Then Tyrese Maxey, the guard from Philly, shot about 75% from the field, making 3 3-pointers, 60% from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, and 24 points. And then lastly, also for NateTheViking here, Joseph Nurkic shot about 60% from the field, making 1 free throw, 50%. And lastly, Joseph Nurkic for NateTheViking here, shooting 60% from the field goal from the field, making 1 3-pointer, 56% from the free throw line, 20 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 44 points. Which brings us to how our last matchup broke down between Los Mambacita and Toon Squad, where Los Mambacita was able to pick up that win with 6 wins, 2 losses, and no ties on the week. But as always, we have to take a deeper look into how this happened. Starting off with the guards, as always, Chef Curry shooting about 53% from the field, making 22 3-pointers, astonishing, with 85% from the free throw line, 26 rebounds, 36 assists, 6 steals, and 3 blocks, making 123 points, absolutely killing it. Then Patrick Beverly on the opposite side here, making about 25% of his shots, with 2 3-pointers being made, 50% from the free throw line, with 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, and 7 points. Then we have Paul George able to shoot 44% from the field, making 11 3-pointers, 89% from the free throw line with 25 rebounds, 15 assists, 7 steals, 82 points. Then across the way, we saw Zach LaVine. Then if we move into our next set of guards, we saw Zach LaVine, the guard for Chicago, and Los Mambacita as well, shooting 27% from the field with 4 3-pointers being made, 83% from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 29 points. Then moving into the Toon Squad, we have Anthony Simmons shooting about 40% from the field, 13 3-pointers, 92% from the free throw line, 12 assists, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 6 steals, 1 block, and 70 points on the week. Moving straight into the next set of guards, we had Klay Thompson shooting about 50% from the field, making 17 3-pointers, 87% from the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 80 points on the week, versus Fred VanVleet for Toronto for Toon Squad, who shot 28% from the field, with 4 3-pointers being made, 92% from the free throw line, adding in 3 rebounds, 13 assists, and 38 points. Moving into the next guard for Toon Squad was Tim Hardaway shooting 27% from the field, making 8 3-pointers, 100% of his free throws with 14 rebounds, 12 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and 43 points. Then moving into the forwards, where Shattuck Bay for Los Mambacita and Detroit shot 32%, while the making 3 3-pointers, shooting 100% from the free throw line, adding in 17 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 24 points. Then we have, moving into the next set of forwards, Gordon Hayward for Charlotte, shooting about 40% from the field, adding in 5 3-pointers, 66% from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 33 points. Then on the opposite side for Toon Squad, you have Wendell Carter Jr. from Orlando, shooting 58% from the field, making 4 3-pointers, 75% from the free throw line, with 13 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 blocks, 41 points on the week. Then we move into the next set of forwards. It's Kristaps Porzingis for Washington, shooting 35%, making 7 3-pointers, shooting 77% from the free throw line, making 33 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals, 8 blocks, and 59 points, versus Kevin Durant for the Toon Squad and Brooklyn, shooting 56%, making 1 3-pointer, shooting 93% from the free throw line, making 19 rebounds, 16 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, and 88 points. Then moving into the next set of forwards, we have Christian Wood shooting 57% from the field, making 6 3-pointers, 70% from the free throw line, with an additional 30 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 74 points, versus Michael Porter for Toon Squad, who shot 32% from the field with 3 3-pointers being made, 57% from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 29 points. Back to Los Mambacita, and Christian Wood, the forward for Dallas, shooting 51% from the field, adding in 6 3-pointers being made, an additional 70% from the free throw line with 30 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 74 points. Then across the way for Toon Squad, Michael Booker, the forward from Denver, shooting 34% from the field with 3 3-pointers being made, 57% from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 29 points. Moving into the centers, we saw Jonas Valanciunas for New Orleans, shooting 50% from the field with 2 3-pointers being made, 80% from the free throw line, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, and 34 points. Then for Toon Squad, Rudy Gobert shot about 64% from the field, making 75% from the free throw line, 21 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, and 24 points. Then in the next center spot, we had Mitchell Robinson for Toon Squad, shooting about 50% with 4 rebounds, 1 steal, another 2 blocks, and 2 points. In the flex spot for Los Mambacita, Jordan Clarkson for Utah shot about 41% from the field, adding in 7 3-pointers, 100% shooting from the free throw line with 6 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, and 63 points on the week. While Toon Squad's Jared Allen from Cleveland shot 70% from the field, additionally shot an 80% from the free throw line with 18 points, 4 assists, 4 blocks, and 28 points. Then moving into this short list of players for the benches, we had Los Mambacita with RJ Barrett shooting 27% from the field, adding in 2 3-pointers, 72% from the free throw line, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 steal, and 59 points. Then Domantas Sabonis, the forward from Sacramento, shot 87%, doling out 2 3-pointers and 90% from the free throw line with 28 rebounds, 15 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 48 points. Jabari Smith, lastly for Los Mambacita here, was able to contribute 38% shooting from the field while adding in 9 3-pointers, 80% from the free throw line with 30 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks, and 51 points. Then finally, for Toon Squad, Kyrie Irving shooting 41% from the field with 2 3-pointers, 100% shooting from the free throws, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and 14 points on the week. And that will round out our reviews. Finally. That was a bit to get through. We had a few weeks to get caught up on. So now we are going to get into how the power rankings since week 4 have turned out. And this is how it is. So this is what the week 6 power rankings look like for our league. Remaining in first spot is the Freaks and Geeks, who currently on the year have 28 wins, 11 losses, and 1 tie. Then in top dog number 2 spot, you have BTbruh, who actually remains in that 2 spot with 24 wins, 12 losses, and 4 ties. Then in our third overall top dog, you have the Toon Squad with 20 wins, 19 losses, and 1 tie. Then in the middle of the pack, we have DeepAfMyDawg with a record of 20 wins, 20 losses, no ties. In 5th place is Jman with 17 wins, 23 losses, and no ties. DeepAfMyDawg is actually down 1 spot, while Jman is up 2 spots actually from week 4. Then Los Mambacita is in 6th place with 16 wins, 23 losses, and 1 tie, and she is up from 2 spots from 8th. Then in the 7th spot is Alvinduhmunk, who has 16 wins, 24 losses, and no ties, who has dropped from the 6th spot down to the 7th. And lastly, you have NateTheViking in 8th with 15 wins, 24 losses, and 1 tie, dropping from 5th place over the course of these couple weeks from week 4. And that is how the power rankings look like for this week. Now, lastly, we're going to get into score update from when I made these graphics. I did not add in, I'm not quite going to do a breakdown, such an in-depth one like we do with the reviews, because some of these games are still in the process of being played. So a lot of those stats are probably going to change anyways. So we're just going to take kind of the general score updates and look at kind of the overview for each team. So the current score update in our first matchup has the Freaks and Greeks holding a 7-win to 1 loss and no tie lead over the Toon Squad, with the Freaks and Greeks winning in the field goal percentage from the field, 3-pointers made, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and points, with the Toon Squad winning in the free throw percentage category. Then in our next matchup, it shows we see that BTbruh is actually currently winning against Alvinduhmunk by a score of 5 wins, 3 losses, and no ties. Right now, BTbruh is winning in the field goal percentage category, rebounds, assists, blocks, and points, while Alvinduhmunk is currently winning in 3-pointers made, field goal percentage, and steals. Then moving straight into our third matchup, we have the this is actually a tie right now between DeepAfMyDawg and Jman, with 4 wins, 4 losses, and no ties, where DeepAfMyDawg is holding the lead in 3-pointers made, rebounds, blocks, and points, while Jman is holding the lead currently on field goal percentage, free throw percentage, assists, and steals. So that'll also be a match to be closely looking in on. And then in our final matchup of the week, we see that NateTheViking is getting some redemption finally in a game against Los Mambacita, currently winning a score of 7 wins, 1 loss, and 0 ties, with NateTheViking winning in the field goal percentage category, free throw percentage category, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and points, and Los Mambacita currently winning the 3-pointers made category. Thank you guys for tuning into yet another exciting episode of the Fantasy Haus Live, well, almost live, for Hoopz Edition. We went over week 5. We went over weeks 4 and 5 in our weekly review. We covered what the current standings look like as of week 6, which is our current week, and we even gave you a current score update of week 6. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed kind of all the stats and going through and getting a brief little kind of insight into what our little fantasy league looks like. You guys have been amazing. Much love as always. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe on the video. I always enjoy the feedback. Other than that, I will see you sports fans in the next video. Other than that, peace out and stay safe. Bye.